Hello, hello, hello. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, let me share this live on Facebook.
Geez, if we had one more person, it would look like Brady Bunch.
Okay, so I did live on Facebook. Is it going to my Facebook automatically there, my dear? Where are you? Kathleen?
I'm waiting for it to pop up. I'm looking at your Facebook page.
Me too, and I do not see it. Let me do it again. Oh, there we go. Yes. It's still asking me all these questions. There we go. Go live. Public. This is the first time I've done this, you guys, by the way.
Cool.
Good job so far. Good job.
Redirecting to Facebook Live page. Woohoo, there we are. And we're live. Hello. This is the first time I've done this, you guys, by the way. And that showed up on live too. Okay, we are live.
Good job so far. Good job.
Redirecting to Facebook Live page. Woohoo, there we are. And we're live. Hello. Okay, let me get rid of that. And that showed up on live. Okay, hi. Welcome everyone. This is, wait a minute, it's being live streamed. Got it. This is fascinating. I love tech. I love just putting myself out there and just figuring things out, right? Isn't that what we do? So welcome everybody to, these are the healers that are part of this man, Peter, down there. Peter, you're the only guy right now. Undo your mic a little bit.
I'll have to anchor in the divine masculine energy.
There you go. It's called Empowering the Healer Within. And these are some of the healers and speakers that are taking part in this free summit next week. I advise you all to jump on because I know most of what you all do and it is fabulous. And I am so excited just to be part of it as well. And this young man down the corner there in the blue shirt, Peter, it was his idea. And he did one last year and I was a part of it and it was fabulous. What you're going to learn is self-healing techniques, but I'm going to give you a little secret as to what Peter did with me. He does this platinum ray and ancestral healing, and I was totally blown away. Now, most of you who know me know that I've been doing this work for a long time. Well, Peter was able to dive into my ancestral line, and it was amazing because I actually met my grandparents who I never knew and was able to have a conversation, and it was incredible. And that's all I'm going to say about it because Peter has to really dive into that. So I'm going to introduce Peter right now. And Peter, tell us a little bit about you, and just so everybody knows, when you join the summit, every single speaker, and this is only a portion of them, has a free gift for you. And the free gifts are, I will tell you, are freaking amazing as well. So join in and then you'll be able to kind of pick and choose. You don't want to miss any of them though. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss any of them because I know these ladies and men, and I have to tell you that one of the healers that is in this summit, is talk about manifesting. Joan Ruggiero, she was somebody that I learned quite a few things from. And now we're sharing a summit together. And it really, I'm so humbled, so humbled to not only be asked, but to be sharing the stage with so many amazing people. So thank you all of you here today. But yeah, tell me a little bit about Peter. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm the guy wearing the blue shirt in the corner. So yeah, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming out to this live event. And we're talking about empowering the healer within. This is season 2 of Self-Care for Healers. And I started this last year because the energy around us is kind of crazy. The society seems like it's upending, and it feels like everything's out of control. And the healers of the world are necessary right now. And just to make sure that the healers, all of us here, if you're tuning in, you're a healer as well, know it or not. But I mean, every time you cut your skin, you heal. So yeah, you're a healer. We need to make sure that we as healers are able to heal ourselves so we can do the work that's so valuable that the world really needs right now. And the reason why I focused on self-care is because I feel like I've struggled with self-care in the past, and continue to struggle with it. And I try to do it, and it's really hard. It's so easy to heal somebody else, and it's really hard to heal myself. It's like a Chiron complex almost. And so I figured I would assemble experts from around the world to talk about what they do to heal themselves or what they do to heal others. And then you could use it yourself. You can pick these tips up, and they're all easy to do. And you could work on yourself and make sure you're in tip-top shape so you can do the valuable work that you do. And when you heal yourself, you're healing your community, your country, your planet, you know, and healers are very valuable, and they're amazing people. I mean, just look at the group that we have in front of us. They're all amazing people. They have amazing skills, and I'm proud and honored to be able to share this with the world. And I hope everybody can take advantage of it and use the tips that we share. It's you know, a free opportunity is just a beautiful thing to share with the whole world.
Is there something you want to share with them today, that a little tip that may help them, Peter?
Yeah, I feel compelled to talk about unconditional love. And I'm looking at this crystal, and it's almost like it's got something to say. And this is a hematite rose quartz crystal, and it's really good for balancing, and it's really good for unconditional love. The color pink is representative of unconditional love, and that goes for everyone around you. That the person that cuts you off in traffic, and you get angry, you just gave your power away. Well, bring it back. Get your power back with unconditional love. Just give unconditional love. If somebody's really upset with you, it's really hard to overcome unconditional love. Unconditional love can clear your spaces, your house, your being, your aura. It's one of the most powerful energies that we have, and it's so underrated, and it's so not so well understood, and it's so easy. So I think you can tap into unconditional love just by getting snuggly with your dog. If you have a dog, it's amazing the gift that dogs bring. They anchor the unconditional love on the planet for us. And if they're always just wagging the tail and looking like, let's play, and they just embody unconditional love. So if you lack the ability to tap into that yourself, your dog can help you.
I love that. Pets bring so much, don't they?
They do. In fact, I think season 3 might be animal healing.
Somebody here does a lot of that. Why don't you take it from there, Mari?
Thank you.
Let me unmute. Here I am. Hi. Yeah, animal healing. That would be awesome. So for anyone that doesn't know me, I'm Mari Cartagenova, also known as Medium Mari, since my last name is pretty impossible to say. So I'm a psychic medium and animal communicator, and also help to find lost pets with the help of spirit. And I want to thank Peter and Deborah for, Peter for putting on the summit and pretty much doing everything and helping me with my lack of technical finesse. Thank you for that. And Deborah for helping with the live and everything. But yeah, I'm just grateful to be part of this. And I know that Peter was talking a lot about taking care of ourselves. And what I was talking about and talking about in the summit is all about intuition. Now, a lot of people say to me, oh, well, you know, that's like just for people like you, for like psychics and mediums. And I tell people, look, it's really not. Like, everybody has intuition, you know, the gut feeling when the phone rings and you're like, yeah, I think that might be my Aunt Susan or whatever, or you're on the freeway and you get that feeling someone might be staring at you. That's your intuition. And so what I talk about during the summit is how you kind of turn that dial up and how you sort of expand your intuition. Now, you don't need to be a healer to do that. It's really more your intuition is to help you, every individual, on a daily basis to sort of help you make those decisions. So you're not making them from your head or from your ego, which is sort of filled with everything everybody's ever told you and all your people pleasing or anything else that, you know, might get in the way of your true self. And your true self is really more sort of located near your heart chakra in your body. So part of what I'm talking about in turning up your intuition is being able to distinguish between the feeling when you're sort of up in your head and maybe worrying about stuff, because that's not really the real you, and dropping back down into the body and really working with that intuition to help you make decisions that are going to help you the most. I hope that makes sense to everybody out there. If not, shoot me a message and I'll help figure that out for you. But basically the summit is filled with, I think, 30 healers, Peter said, and they all are offering little free tidbits. I know in my portion of it, we do a little exercise that I call Cora, C-O-R-A. And that really, I'm not going to go into it. You'll have to stay tuned and watch the summit to find out what that means. But to help you really get involved in your intuition, and so you can learn to trust it more and use it really on a daily basis so that it can help improve your life. And that's really what this whole summit is about, is to give you different tips and tools to make your life better on a daily basis.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I love the idea of the animal for the third one.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely be down for that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Great idea.
Carrie, do you want to go next? And
Hi, everyone.
Just so you know, I'm looking down so I can answer questions on Facebook, okay?
Hi, everyone. My name's Carrie Ann. I am a psychologist in my daytime hours, and I am an energy worker in my nighttime hours. I'm trained in IET, Magnified Healing, and Shambhala. And so in my talk, I am talking about compassion fatigue, and it is something I'm very, very passionate about. Poor Peter, I talked his ear off about compassion fatigue, because in my profession as a psychologist, it's something that's very important, especially for me. I work with trauma victims or survivors. And it's very important for us in mental health and healthcare to address, but it doesn't seem like in all the other professions right now it's being addressed. So I thought for energy healers, workers, it would be important, but really you do not have to be a healer at all. You just need to be a human who has been living, especially in the last 2 years of this, almost 2 years of this pandemic. And I believe that you'll get some takeaways from it. So compassion fatigue, you know, what is it? It can be emotional, physical, spiritual fatigue that we feel when we're taking care of people or wanting to take care of people, or in the life of somebody who's going through something really challenging. And I think we could all say in the last few years, we have all personally experienced that ourselves. So, and I also differentiate the difference. You'll have to watch my talk to learn more about it. But compassion fatigue and burnout are not the same thing. And so I clarify that in my discussion. And I also talk about risk factors, signs and symptoms, things to look out for. And I was sharing this with Peter previously, but a lot of us in the helping profession, we like to think, oh, like, yeah, other people, like they need to like do stuff to help themselves, but my self-care is like top notch, right? And we always like to think that we are so great at everything. And, if we don't meditate, for a week, we're fine and all of that. So I really talk about some of the consequences that can come from that. I give some ideas for self-care activities. And yes, we all know there are things, but I named a few others that maybe might be new to some folks. And I also differentiate between self-love activities because self-care and self-love activities are not the same thing. So that's what I talk about, and some scheduling ideas if you are somebody who works with clients, some scheduling ideas, and just some different things that you can think of to try to, reduce the tendency towards compassion fatigue and just being your best version of you. Like, our work that we all do as humans is so important, and we have to take care of ourselves. If we are not taking care of ourselves, we are not our best us for even ourselves and others. And like Peter said, when we're better, the community's better, the world's better. So it's super important.
Do you want to give them a quick little tip?
Well, I don't know. You'll have to watch my video, but I will say a few things that I think are important in terms of my freebies. So there are some compassion fatigue measures. So like I was saying earlier, I do think it's really important for us to actually take those measures that I have included. Peter will have that information available the day of my talk, which will be on Thursday, the 27th. And take them, please take them, because again, we minimize ourselves, right? We put everyone ahead of ourselves. So please take them, kind of see if you're at risk of things, try to know where you stand with things. I think that's super important. And I also created a 12-minute guided meditation for compassion fatigue too. So I know that there's going to be a bunch of different videos every single day. Mine will be a YouTube offering. So please just save it if you can't do it that day. Save it for another time, because I really think even a 12-minute little guided meditation about compassion fatigue could be very, very beneficial.
Awesome. Thank you. I know you guys are giving away some amazing gifts. I'm excited for that. Cheryl, how are you?
Oh, hi. It helps if I turn on the microphone.
You're still, it's all good. You're here.
Hi, everybody. Good to see everybody tonight. This has just been amazing. I'm so happy to be involved in this with Peter again. Peter, you're amazing. Thank you for running this again. And I'm looking forward thoroughly to be involved in this again next year, doing the animal thing with you and with Mari. I mean, Mari, that's awesome that you do the animal communication and psychic work with animals. That's great, because I use the emotion code, body code, and I work with animals, and I'll tell you, the animals are very receptive. And much like what Peter was just saying for compassion, unconditional love, they are totally amazing. My little dog is exactly that. He is all over me all the time when he knows I'm really down, or even just run down. He just knows when I'm feeling that, and he comes to me. So I'm looking forward to that next year. But anyway, what I am going to be talking about is, I've been in this metaphysical field for 25 plus years. I mean, I've been in a lot of different modalities and certified in the Melchizedek work like Peter, Reiki, biofield tuning with tuning forks, crystal bowls. And now I've been using for several years now the emotion code, body code. The founder of that is Dr. Bradley Nelson. It's just utterly amazing, and it's just kind of taken the world by storm. With that, and you'll see in my video, what I talk about is a heart wall. What is a heart wall? It's something that the subconscious sets up. It's a separate space, it's a protection for the heart by the subconscious when we experience something that's really traumatic, or something that we're exposed to that's difficult, like if we are moving a great distance away at a young age, or you're going through a divorce or a job loss, things like that. The subconscious creates this automatically by shaving, believe it or not, small amounts of energy that's already trapped in your body, because emotions have a frequency, a vibration, just like everything else on the planet. Emotions have a frequency. So that gets trapped in our bodies. And the way it gets trapped in our bodies, the organs and glands in our bodies are the generators, believe it or not, of the emotions that come into your system. And they get stuck if we can't process them. And generally, we can process most everything that comes to us. But when it's really challenging and difficult and we can't, that's when they get stuck. And the majority of our, believe it or not, trapped emotions in our system begin in childhood. I mean, we could be 60 years old. We will find trapped emotions in our clients' bodies from age 3, from age 2, 5, 15, 26. And we're dragging that around. It's like dragging rocks in suitcases. That's what your body feels like. It's dragging stuff around. So, it's a little bit like The Secret. When The Secret came out with that book, it was amazing. The theory behind that is change your thinking and it'll help. You'll start to get on a more positive wavelength, and that is part of it. But trapped emotions radiate their own signature vibration out to the universe. So the vibrations that are trapped, that's what we're going to continue to attract. So that's what's going to be on my video. So you're going to have to tune in and to watch that. But what I wanted to also just give you a tidbit about today, because a lot of people are really having a lot of difficulty, and Peter really emphasized this when he came on. We're all shifting and we're all going through a great change right now. We are. And I have put something that's educational together on my website, energyworkstudio.com. You just click on the educational videos, you'll be able to see it. It's the transformational process that we're in from 3D to 5D, and it talks about and explains the energetic shifting that people are experiencing right now and what's happening with that. And I know many of us have mentioned before, I feel like I'm going crazy. Some days I feel really, really good, and then other days I just feel like a split personality, like the whole world is falling apart or I'm completely upside down. It is because we're shifting from 3D vibration to 5D vibration. It's called the awakening. A lot of people have heard of it. So something that you might want to watch. I want to make sure that I try to help educate people with what that's all about. Integrative quantum doctors of the future. They're going to need to study the physical model of the anatomy. It's also going to be expanding their knowledge to include subtle energies of anatomy based on quantum physics. And that's what we're doing. That's what I do a lot of work with now. Quantum physics, just moving energy from one place to another. So tune into that. And I think that you will find it will be helpful with your day-to-day, everyday feelings of ups and downs that you may be going through. Tune in, go to the website, energyworkstudio.com, click on educational videos. You will see that there. It may help you get through the day right now. In the meantime, go to my video that I did with Peter, and you will see that I talk about the heart wall and what it can do and what it can prevent us from achieving in our lives. It creates such a wall around the whole body. Now, the aura around the body is 6 feet wide in either direction, all the way around, okay? The aura around just the heart is double that. It's 12 feet wide, and that's where the heart wall is. Now, the founder of the work that I'm working with, the Emotion Code Body Code, who is the founder of the heart wall, the wife, hers was miles wide, believe it or not, miles, before they could actually tear it down. And that's the work that I do. I tear down heart walls that people have created. I mean, even myself, I had a colleague that I worked with and still work with a colleague out in Utah. I had a heart wall. There's 93% of people on this planet right now that have a heart wall, and they don't understand why they have so many ups and downs. And, why can't I make money? And how come I can't find a girlfriend? How come I can't find a boyfriend, a companion? Why this? Why that? There's generally a heart wall in place that has been there since you were a child. That's what we release. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. And that's 12 feet wide. Mine was 5 feet wide, believe it or not. And I had it released. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time. It takes 3 to 5 sessions to release one, but it does feel different when you have that release. So
yeah, there's so many different modalities and so many different ways to peel back the onion, right?
Peeling back the onion. That's exactly what it's doing.
It's important to find the one that resonates with you the most.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that helps people.
Yeah, absolutely. Kathleen, would you like to go next?
Hi there. Hello. Yes, I would. Cheryl, you were cracking me up because I just wrote a book that's called You're Not Crazy, You're Simply Divine. And it's a story of my experiences of feeling like I was going crazy.
Sure.
But yeah. But anyway, I'm Kathleen Sherman, and I call myself a shamanic medical intuitive. And let me know if I run long. I'm trying to remember how long ago. But anyway, I call myself a shamanic medical intuitive. I combine shamanism, medical intuition, mediumship. Learned from an amazing healer, Tina Zion, and took these gifts after I learned them. It took me a little bit to figure them out because I worked in a hospital for about 20 years, and I was soaking up people's energy all that time, working with clients on the phone, patients on the phone at that time. And I noticed that I got more and more sick as I went along, and I had no idea about energy before I learned Reiki, and then I learned Reiki, and I was ill. I was, personally, I had an experience of being told I had fibromyalgia, and then just said, nope, I don't accept this. And I had read stories about mediums. I had had experiences myself with like past life regression stuff. And all of a sudden I just went, nope, I'm not going to do this. And actually, a family member did Reiki on me and told me some stuff, helped me clear some stuff from myself, and then learned Reiki. And then holy, wow, I just blew open, and it's just like when you learn Reiki, it kind of helps you open up even more. And so I learned how to work with the energies that I intuitively felt. And I learned how to clear my own energy within 2 months and was completely healed of all of that. So within 2 months. And that was an amazing experience to all of a sudden, hear my mother, who had just passed, talking to me and all kinds of things like that. And I talk a little bit about my experiences in the topic that I'm talking about, because I had no clue, I wasn't a clinical person. I wasn't a nurse. I was a scheduler, but I intuitively just knew while I was talking to people that, oh, they have this or that. I just knew stuff. And I had no idea that was a thing. I didn't know. And so everybody is really a medical intuitive. Everybody's a medium. And that's one of the things that after I healed myself, I learned Reiki, and then I was told I was a medical intuitive, went and did classes, and then went and did shamanism classes. And then after the Reiki classes, I heard, now you healed yourself, now you help others. And I'm like, okay, all right, guys, I guess it's time to do that. So what I talk about in the summit, and I'm so excited to be asked to be in the summit. I'm just so excited. But my topic is how to release the binds that hold you back from your own divinity, and how we don't know how divine we are. We are such divine beings of light. And if we had any clue of how emotions affect us and how things around us, what people say to us, like that's a spell, like somebody says something to you and you go, oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Well, one person one time told me, you're going to be really exhausted because you're going to do this. And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. And then I realized later, no, that's not true. If I set my intentions, there's so many things that you can do that change that outcome for yourself. So you kind of write your own story. And I talk a lot about preventing light worker burnout, but that's not just light workers. That's anybody in an office setting. When I worked in the hospital for a long time, I worked in an office setting, and that was some of the most stressful and, that's one of the most stressful places actually I've ever worked. And because of that, I learned, universe put me there for a reason. I learned how to cope, how to manage, how to clear my energy. And that's what I do, is I help people say, okay, if you're in a situation, here are some techniques to help release that energy, to help you stay grounded. And being in a super stressful environment for a long time in the hospital, I knew how that went. So I love to give helpful hints and teach people how to do this work themselves, because I feel like in the long run, what we're eventually moving into in our society is becoming our own medical intuitives and going to the doctor less, not having surgeries, not ending up sick like I did. And a lot of the reason that I was sick was my guides told me, my spirit guides after I healed myself. They said a lot of it was just not eating organic foods, eating pesticides in my foods, basic things. And then energy that I was soaking in because I'm empathic. So I can feel what other people are feeling. So I would start to feel sick. I would start to feel their aches and pains. And so I give a lot of tips and tricks on how to do that. I also see past lives for people, and I automatically will just say, what's going on with me? And I would have a pain or something like that. Boom. And I would see a vision of an experience that I had in another lifetime, another time and space. And it's like a movie that runs through my head. And it's so cool. So, and I take people on journeys to help clear things like that. My free gift, and you can only get the free gift by subscribing to the summit, is it's about 21 minute energy clearing. So it's free energy clearing. I help you to bring in new light codes, new light energy codes that are divine angelic codes. And I help you to upgrade, release things that you don't need anymore, and then upgrade your DNA to a higher vibration. So yeah, that's what I do.
I love how everybody is just moving, like it's so cohesive, all of you, all of us, and what we do and how different it is to, it's the same, but so different. It's so beautiful. Carly, would you like to go next?
Hi, everyone. My name is Carly Matamor. Can you hear me? I love it. It is like this flowing river as I'm hearing everybody speak. It just one thing flows into the next. And I'm so delighted. Thank you, Peter, for inviting me to be a part of this event for the second time. And thank you also for Deborah for hosting it. And it's just lovely to hear each and every one of you share your gifts and how exciting it is to be a part of this summit. And I can't wait to actually watch more of you and sign up myself to listen to every single one of the gifts. I have a very similar background to many of you. I'm a psychotherapist, and I've been practicing for over 35 years, but I'm stepping much more into the shamanic realm, and am a shamanic breathwork facilitator and offer shamanic psychospiritual workshops. An energy healer, both healing touch as well as Reiki, a master in shamanic Reiki, as well as Usui and Tibetan Reiki. And I'm a writer. Also, I have written a book called Sacred Messengers of Shamanic Africa. And essentially my own awakening has been through the shamanic world to understand, yes, that we are energy, and that there are all these traumas that are held in our bodies through lifetimes, but more importantly, to focus on what has actually happened in this lifetime, where we have repressed things in our bodies. And when we repress these things, because it's a natural order for us to protect ourselves, it's how we survive our childhoods and adulthoods. But it becomes compartmentalized and it's held in the body. And as we begin to move that, we begin to remember that we are really connected to all things. And so, the shamanic world is nature. It is, it is the trees, it is the rocks, it is the animals, it is the plants, it's the cosmos, it's Mother Earth herself and the crystals that are held in it. All of these things are a part of our ongoing community. And as we begin to heal and reclaim these parts of ourselves that have been shut down and blocked or are dense and heavy in our field, we open up those frequencies so we can connect with this world, with all of these things. And we then remember, that we are in this Aquarian age, and part of being in the Aquarian age is to connect with community and to support each other. But first, we have to become independent. We have to become individuated. We have to figure out who we are and pull our energies back into our own field so that we're operating and putting that. That's why this self-healer event is such an amazing thing, because we need tools. And and one tool doesn't fit all people. And the other thing is that we need more than one tool to use, because we're constantly, it's like nutrition. We're having to feed ourselves different things, and different things will work at different times. And we're yearning for more, because our own physiological being, our our energy system, our frequency is expanding and it's changing. So different things will meet different needs at different times. So what a beautiful thing that here we are, we've got a feast right now of different opportunities, of ideas that can nourish us, and we can put that oxygen mask on us and ground ourselves so then we can be supportive of others. And when we're supportive of others, we now then recognize we are interdependent. We can't really see and be and operate in an interdependent world until we take care of ourselves. And so my talk is on connecting with trees and with nature. And trees they have a frequency. They are, they are beings just like we're a being. And we have forgotten this language, and we're beginning to remember this language to tune into that frequency and begin to decipher it, whether it's trees or animals or plants. And all of it, we can communicate, and it can re-stabilize it, can re-ground us. And I talk a little bit about that in my talk, about what is it that we benefit from trees, and how do we benefit, and can we be in a reciprocal relationship with trees consciously. And I take people on a shamanic journey with music, just briefly, to go inward and to actually have a relationship in that moment, get a message from a tree. And it's powerful because trees can give us some messages. Each of them carries their own frequency and their vibration.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's great. And then the other thing is, the free gift is another kind of meditation. It takes you into the baobab tree, because the other thing that I do is I take people to Africa on psychospiritual journeys to connect with the sacred messengers, which is the natural world, and to know that they are leading and guiding us. It's not just us. It's not really about us. It's about all of us. So, and community. And so a bit of nugget in terms of what people can do right now is to maybe just create that awareness, maybe look around their home and just maybe, and maybe many of you already do this, but just sometimes we forget, maybe there's a plant in our kitchen or in our living room, and maybe we just reach out and, kind of stroke that plant, or, say, hey, Carly says I can have a conversation with you. I'm just going to sit here for a moment and see if you got a message for me. Tune in, see if a message comes to you, or the tree in the front yard when you're looking out the front window tomorrow morning when it's light outside, or even when it's dark, because it doesn't matter whether it's light or dark, those messages can be conveyed.
I have
That
actually, Carly.
I'm excited.
Carly, I went away for a couple of weeks, and my daughter was watching my plants, and she forgot about one of my big ones that I've had for years. I came back and it literally was dead. It's gorgeous now because I just kept sending it love. I walk by it every morning, give it a little squirt, just to say, hey, I love you. And it is beautiful. It now has I think it's three now, new things coming up out of the center. So it really does.
There you go. That's a great example.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I know. I wish I had taken a picture of it when it was completely dead. I may have and just don't remember. But thank you. Thank you all so much. We're going to go with Lisa right now. Popped in there.
Hi, everybody. Friends. It's so great to hear what you all do. I don't even know how I'm among you all because you're all so incredible. My name is Lisa Garside. I have a yoga studio. I have a podcast, and my main job is just to help people really identify with their bodies. There's so many people suffering, hands down, they're suffering something emotional, physical, in their lives. And now we're seeing others, family members, and I'm trying to get them more in tune with their physical body. And the body, the nervous system is king, and your nervous system tells you if you're safe or if you're unsafe. And so I'm helping them to really identify, like, are you safe, or do you feel like you're in fear or flight throughout your day? And so we work with this tangible body that we can touch and move and do, so that they can really start to understand better, something that they can feel and touch. I feel like it's a really good meld between the spiritual and those that kind of work full time and have no feet in that world. So they start to do this, start to understand maybe like, well, that chant made me feel something and I don't know what, can I learn more about that? And then they all go off to people like you all to then get to the deeper work that maybe isn't just the shoulder, isn't the back, it's much, much deeper than that. So yeah, I mean, that's what I do. It's tough work because, it is work and you have to show up every day. And I try to show that by example of never, going a day without taking care of myself first. And I have a very busy life, so I always get up very early. I think Peter and I talked about my kind of daily schedule in the session. And I think my gift, I can't remember, but I think it was for classes, to try and take some classes with me so that you can really see what I'm all about. But yeah, I mean, it takes a team. Here you have that entire team of what it takes to figure out the layers, the onion layers of what's going on. And I think mine is maybe the somewhat first step of it looks like exercise. It's not really, it's goes much deeper than that. And it's a good journey. And you always can go back into grounding the physical body, your breath, mantra, wherever you want to go with it. Yeah. And my podcast, I started during COVID just because people were in a lot of fear. And so I thought if I could empower people, I really try to empower people. It's all about you have more tools than you think, and to really dig deep. And if the body feels pain or the brain has thoughts that you just don't identify with, then you got to dig deeper. And there's a whole team here for that. So it was really about empowerment. And yeah, we're in season 2, which is empowerment of finding people to learn under, and start to go further with that, so that that you have more in you than you think. So
yeah, what a nice, perfect. Don't we though? I mean, it took us a while to see that, and now we're all sharing that with the rest of the world and helping them in our own little way, how they can find that power within them. And it's a humble power. I want to state that it's a really humble power, that once you actually touch the power within you, you tap into such a place of joy, and it's nirvana. It's just
you almost feel guilty. You almost feel guilty that
and you're still happy regardless of what's going on around you. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So I just want to say thank you, Peter. For my talk, I give away it's a talk I do on freedom through forgiveness. And it literally is because I tapped into my spirituality, I think for my whole life, right? I think most of us, our whole life. However, somewhere along the line, somebody shut it down when we were little and we just hid it away. And now we're all, and I think many of you touched on this, we're entering into the age of Aquarius, where all those gifts are starting to be born again, right? They're all starting to just erupt inside of us, and we can't stop it. We can't stop it. Going to that place of where I truly believe we're going to start communicating through telepathy, just through the heart. And, many of us here have been doing that for years, but I feel like that the mainstream are going to be doing the same. And it's so funny because I literally we all live there, right? I'm more there than I probably want to be. Because I really love it up there. But they're all talking about it, and it's becoming mainstream to talk about, intuition and, listening to your gut and speaking from the heart. So it's an exciting time, I think, for all of us, that we're really excited about this, entering in the 5th dimension and higher. And, it's just complete joy. And I feel, for me, it was a broken heart for me, that just the dark night of the soul lasted too long. But I had to learn how to forgive not only him, forgive abuses that happened to me as a child, but also the biggest one was to forgive myself for the guilt I felt, forgive myself for the joy I felt in certain things, and really forgive that forgiveness. And it was such a miracle, because once I did that, it was like it transferred over to my children. And I saw them, begin to really blossom. And it was so beautiful. So anyone that's watching this, just know that all the work that you do on yourself energetically, it does go into your entire lineage, your children and back. So it's like even going back, with Peter, we healed something that was just so precious. And to have that conversation, with an ancestor that I never met was just priceless. So yeah, that you have to watch. I don't know when mine is on. I kind of forget. But everybody here is offering such, these are things from their heart that they work hard and really took the time and put a lot of heart and soul into their gifts so that we could bring you forward into this new world, this new way of being. And so that you can let go of all the, the resentments, the anger, all of it, just let go of all of it. Look at everybody's going, yep. Like, I know you guys are amazing. You're freaking amazing. And I can't wait to watch all of you. So Peter, come on, get your voice here. Get your voice. Hey.
Oh yeah.
We are so grateful for you. And you just keep going and going and going. You're like the little Energizer bunny, and Peter, just so you know, has a full-time job. And he does all of this, behind the scenes after work.
Thank you for that, and thank you everyone for being a part of this event. Deborah, do we have any questions from the audience?
I don't have any here. No, just thank you. Do any of you have any questions that you can see on your Facebook?
I have just a little, I was going to say, can you tell people how to find out? Can you tell them how to find the links?
I did share. So what you can do too is
okay.
In your comments, or just edit the post that you shared. I just shared it in mine, edit it, and I put the link to the summit on the top. So you can go and do that and share your link, so that people can not just see this, but know where to go. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's just amazing. I love you guys.
And you know what? And I didn't specify. I just like to jump in real quickly and just tell people what my gift is. And I'm offering people, if they tune into the show, the program, I'm offering to people full body evaluations.
Nice.
To anybody that tunes into the programming. And with that, and I do this on animals, I do this on children, and I do this on full adults. So it depends. And each individual gets a different session, because everything is different for every human being. So a human adult would be a little bit different than an animal. So there are different aspects of the body evaluation that I would check. But for a full-grown adult, I would be checking your immune system and what that percent of that total capacity is functioning at right now. It should be at 100%. I also test your brain percent to see if the percentages of messages getting to your organs and glands. I also test heart percent to see messages that are getting to your body tissues. I check everyone's electrolytes, which would be the sodium level, the chloride, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium level, vitamin B12, BD, vitamin D, pH balance, iron, protein. I also check to see if the person is dehydrated. And there are about 35 organs that I test for the full body evaluation to see if there are any imbalances or just stressed organs and glands.
That's the free gift you're offering?
So that's the free gift that I offer. And if you tune into the segment, that's what you will be getting.
So make sure that, I don't know, I heard what they're all offering. Yeah. Mari, what were you offering?
Hi, sorry, I had to unmute myself there. There's a talk that I'm giving about auras. That's one of my free gifts. And also during the actual talk, I do quite a lengthy meditation about how you can really open yourself up and increase your intuition. So that's actually during the segment. So you got to tune in to watch it, but I think it will be very helpful. So
I think you could all, everybody watching, you can really tell what an amazing group, and this is only a portion of the healers that are on the summit. You know, obviously we all have busy lives, and, you know, I'm so grateful. I think Peter is very grateful for all of you showing up tonight, sharing your wisdom and little tidbits and your joy and your smiles and your beauty, meaning outside and inside. Yeah, I'm so excited, Peter. This is going to be awesome. So be sure, everybody that's watching, be sure to click on the link either above or below in the comments to wherever you're watching this from, and join us. It is a free summit, and you'll get the schedule, and then you just pop on. And how many speakers a day, Peter?
Should be six.
Six speakers every day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what you can expect is if you register for the summit, you'll get an email, and the email will say, this is what's on tap for today. Then each speaker will have a link, and the link will go to the speaker's page. Each speaker will have their own page with the title of their talk, their name, the video. I believe their bio is going to be on there, and then there'll be buttons on. There's a free gift button to go to their free gift, their website, that's a button, their LinkedIn, their Instagram, their Facebook, whatever, their website, whatever the speaker shared is going to be on their own page, and it's just very convenient. It's all right there.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that, because I didn't even know how that was going to work. Does everybody feel complete right now? Does anybody want to share anything else? I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Like, I know that February, March, that the energies are going to shift even more, and we're going to be going more into, you know, that new world of love, compassion, empathy, and just joy and abundance. Mm-hmm. We're all, yeah, high vibe states. I think we all work in the raising the vibration of the planet. So anybody, feel free to open your mics and share.
Deborah, thanks for hosting this tonight. And then Peter, thank you for hosting it and just being you.
Right. Thank you, Carrie, for being you too. It's so good to see you. You look beautiful. Anybody else want to say goodbye or
I wanted to just pop on really quick and just tell you both, thank you so much for putting this on, because the world needs this so much right now. And so many people are suffering and hurting, and nobody's immune to that. We all have those feelings, and we all go through those things, and we've been through these things. And that's what, you know, kind of like what I was talking about. We stepped up and we're like, okay, now let's help the others to open up and spread your wings. And this is coming out at a very specific time. Peter is guided by spirit, and they're showing him the best time that is possible for this to come out. So this is very, very amazing offer for you. And even if you can't do it now, I would say go in and maybe purchase, because I did that so I could go back and watch everything. So I purchased it so I could go back and watch everybody, including myself. So, right. Yeah. So I just want to say that a couple people
People don't know where to go to find healers or to learn techniques about how to take care of themselves if they want. They don't know where to go. That's why this is just so important right now, profound, that Peter is doing this. And I'm really fortunate to have met all of you and the others and to be a part of this, because it's important. People just don't know where to go. There's so many people hurting.
What I find really funny is that this was supposed to run in December, and it's running in February, which is the perfect time. Perfect.
I would second that. This is like, you know, talk about divine timing. And I love the logo. I mean, the tiger is such an amazing energy for you to put on that for empowering the healer within. It's really connecting with our tiger energy. So thank you, Peter, and thank you, Deborah, and all of you. I'm so grateful to be a part of this.
So join us, will you? Everyone who's watching, join us. Click the link up below, beside, wherever it may be, and join us. And, you know, just even being in the energy, it's like just being in the energy with you guys. I'm like, I'm so happy. So thank you all so much. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night.